So at the beginning of the year, I set myself a unique goal to finish 50 books this year. And already, I think in July, I had reached that goal. Now, I'm a slow reader. I have all the learning disabilities you can ask for. And the way that I've learned to finish so many books is something called habit stacking. Now, thank God we have the ability to use audiobooks. So I would go for walks and listen to an audiobook. I would paint. I would play a very easy game, and it would have a little bit of adrenaline. And that's always the best way to retain memory um, after experiencing or learning something. Now, part of the reason for that is because if our ancestors, when they experienced a spike of adrenaline, their body would record that incident for future reference. From Because imagine you're a hunter gatherer and you go to a certain area and there's a lion there and that lion comes and attacks you, then you're going to know that that area has lions. So every time you go there, your heart's going to jump a little bit, and that's your adrenaline kicking in. And we can kind of use that to hack the way we study. So now that we have gone through two of those lessons, I like to go to some of the goals that I was supposed to do and the ones that have been changed because of time. And this is something very important as an entrepreneur and as an individual. You have to understand that shit happens, life happens, and we have to kind of change accordingly. Now, in no way am I telling you to drop what it is you have planned or what it is you're passionate about. No, it's finding what is the right time and the right place and what is the right thing to do for you in those moments. Now, for example, when I had originally planned to start this podcast, one of my goals, short term goals that I wanted to cover with you guys, was to swim 2K every day. The reason I wanted to swim 2K every day is to reach my long term goal of swimming the Kinneret, the Sea of Galilee, which is around 10K. And I've been training for this for about a year and a half. The issue with it is, I think, been more pushing it off because it's not an easy task and it's different from my day to day. What's good from this goal is that I've been swimming in the ocean for like a year and a half every day. So, kind of building the goals, and even if you don't get to the goal, it still means that it's success. And now it's getting winter here, so I don't think I'm gonna be swimming the Sea of Galilee anytime soon. So we're changing that to a 5K run once a week. Now, the reason I want to do the 5K run is because I like to challenge myself and set goals for every aspect of my life, meaning my body, my entrepreneurial career, my writing career, and of course also my coaching, and kind of have a goal for each one of them of where I'd like to be. And that also includes other aspects of life. For me, they're less relevant because I feel like I've kind of found a way to have the right social aspect to my life. So there's certain things that I don't feel is necessary to work on, but in no way do I think that it's not crucial. Um, Now we're going to talk about this, and I'm even going to upload some really cool graphs which you can use to identify what it is that you want to work on. What are the goals you want to set for every aspect of your life? Because once you have that, you can have that future to work towards. And that dissonance that usually was so tormenting me of who I wanted to be and who I am, I started to get it smaller, shorter and shorter. So now I feel pretty good with myself because I'm closest to living to that ideal self. And one of the things that really helped me getting out was sometimes when I was in a transition or crossroads. Helping others was the key. Even if it was just sitting down with a friend and being there to just listen, let him talk. You don't have to say anything. And that's sometimes the best thing we can do as friends is just sit and listen. Ask questions about what he's saying and just be there. And thankfully, I was also able to help refugees by teaching them computers. And now, after completing my coaching course, I've also been able to mentor lone soldiers, which is both of those things have fulfilled a deep part of me of wanting to give back. Because one of my goals in life was to try and make the world better, and that's why I needed to make a lot of money. Let's leave that justification aside and say that that thinking caused me a lot of pain because I wasn't able to live up to that until I made a lot of money. But then I realized that I can do it without earning a lot of money, and I ended up doing it in the ways I just stated. Another interesting and very cool part that I've set for myself is to do a triathlon. Instead of doing the full 10K swim now, I will do that probably beginning of the summer, late spring. We'll see. But now that goal is there for an Olympic triathlon. It's going to be around 2K swim, 90K bike, and then 10K run. It's something I'm very looking forward to, and I gotta start training properly for it. Now, before I also set a project to finish my book. Thank God I reached that goal. Um, and it's to launch. By the time you're saying this, it will probably be live, and you should check it out. It's called Finding the Soul. Very excited. It's a poetry book. I would say there's a drop of philosophy in there too, and some also practical advice that might be very beneficial to y'all. And I think my coaching is something that this podcast is definitely helping me achieve just by posting it and coming and dedicating time to this, as well as to posting some articles and some of the other stuff I've built. For example, I have a thesis that I wrote for my degree, and there it was about identity in business. So I'd really like to publish that. Um, I think it'd be very beneficial to a lot of organizations to figure out the right culture, which can help retain, employee loyalty, which is running out because we don't live in that society anymore where one person stays at the same job for 20, 30 years. And I think that can be kind of an issue because meaning is provided in our work, in how we interact with the world. So if we don't have that with our spouse, especially if we're not able to bring in money, then our reality can start collapsing. So I want to give businesses the tools to help create that better place, even if it's not forever, but just for that 5 years or 4 years where they're getting started in the professional world, to give them all the tools. And I think when you create that relationship, it goes and brings back ROI, return on investment, that is definitely something that is intangible. For example, all the people that he's gone and he said about the company, that's the type of loyalty which I think will stay on forever. And for the entrepreneurial, there are two businesses that I have been working on since the last business that I started, which I'm still there, but working as a broker is very difficult because when you're focusing on trying to connect other people, and especially in raising large funds, due diligence, it can take months. And that's something that is very hard to rely on. And I've always wanted to put all my stuff out there. I've always had, ever since I started at the Interdisciplinary School, IGC. Now it's called University of Friedman in Herzliya. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what the business was that I wanted to succeed, that would bring in the best financial results as well as moral results. And now I've kind of been in that place where I can build this. I have all the tools at my disposal. I've had the experience from not only helping myself but helping others get to their ideal goal. Now, this is twofold. One is this new product which I'm creating, which is an amazing anti-anxiety, anti-depression relief, which can be used in tea, it can be used as a tobacco substitute, it can even be used as seasoning. And I've been working on the perfect concoction for everybody. And this is something that should be launched and sold by the end of the year. Those are my goals, and that's what I'm trying to hit for. As for the website, I would like to hit that for the end of the month. So I've been very much pushing real hard, working into the late hours of the night to try and get it started, and creating a unique template for it, as well as a unique marketing plan for my books, which I will elaborate on once this podcast will go live. 1 or 2 episodes, I'll talk more about that. And something that I want to mention before I start wrapping up here is we as a society are terrified of the good to come. And we're so stuck on our ways of responding because they're embedded through us, through the way we grew up and how we responded. And kind of part of maturing is unlearning those tendencies and finding new ways to communicate, not only with the outside world, but with yourself. And that's one of the things I love about writing. And that's something that I'll tell everybody. You want to find yourself, you want to get yourself the best advice, start writing. You don't need to do anything. Just give it 2 minutes every day. Write down whatever it is you're feeling. It could be, hi, today was a shitty day. Goodbye. Usually you're going to want a resolution to that. And that's why that's not always going to be the case. But it's definitely somewhere you want to start. Now, with that being said, I think that there's a unique set of skills and tools that we can implement into our lives, such as, meditation, working out, therapy, writing, like I said. All these tools that will truly help us be mindful. And you can see a lot of therapies say that mindfulness is the key, such as CBT, DBLT. The reason that is because it allows us to examine our thought process. And when we do that, we have control over it because we can realize. Now, just because we have that ability doesn't mean we always choose to do it. Because at the end of the day, it's each decision to get up and make something better is still a decision. And we make it every time, and it gets easier, not always, but the more you build the right habits, the easier it gets. And this is something that I would like to thank a friend of mine who would work out 6 times a week. And to me, I was like, that's a little extreme. But then I started to run and swim and bike 5, sometimes even 6 times. And I realized that the relief that it provided was just like taking anti-anxiety, antidepressive pills, such as the common SSRIs on the market. And once I found that out, you can get messed up. I realized my body was like, I need it. If I don't have it, I will be off my game. Now, part of the reason I'm telling you this is so you find what it is that works for you. What is the right thing that you can do that will be fun for you? That is the way to help get the habit to stick, is find something that you can do that you will enjoy. If it's forcing yourself to go to the gym, then you have to ask yourself, what will be the funnest thing I'll do at the gym? Or what can I do that's not at the gym that can be fun? For example, I had a friend who once tried and signed up for a trampoline workout class, which sounds ridiculous, but if you check it out, you see it's very intense. The point being here is, I can't tell you what's right for you. No one can. You have to do that for yourself. And what I've learned, and this is the best tool that I've gained from writing, is how I can find that out, what it is. And trial and error, just do. Just force yourself to do. And going back to that lesson we learned earlier, doing will give you that momentum to continue doing. So that's part of the reason I love to get up early. Because if you get up early, you're already accomplishing that. You're already pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. I wish it was easy for me every day. I wish I did it every day. But life happens. And something that I want to touch back to and will be an emphasis here is understanding that we're human beings, not human doings. Meaning that we have limitations. Yeah. Now, the more you don't think you have limitations, the less limitations you will have. I think David Goggins is a beautiful example of this. You know, he literally has changed his physiological experience, and doctors are shocked. Now, this is a common thing that you can also see in, I think, Wim Hof, and there's a great swimmer who's swam every single lake all at once, and he does not look like the person who would do that. I'll put his name and details below so you can check him out for yourself. The point of it being is that we need to find the right way to find the balance between pushing ourselves and understanding our capabilities. And that's what I'm going to try and talk to here. But how I would like to put it is, if you're feeling bad and saying, okay, I'm feeling bad, I'm not going to get out of bed, that's already failing. That's not pushing yourself. That's not saying, I'm a human being, not a human doing. No, a human being means getting out of bed, brushing your teeth, and then you try and do one or two other things, make your bed. And then if you're still like, I can't do this, I can't, then you give yourself. But the fact that you fight that urge, because we all have the urge to go away from what it is we really want. And learning how to fight that urge will give you so much tools to build that discipline to get to where you want to go, to accomplish your goals, to coach yourself to success. And honestly, I've had a dream recently where my friend did something that bothered me, and I called him out for it. And then I realized that I just did that just to another friend that was with him. I didn't say hello to them. And that's something that bothered me. So in my dream, I was like, no, I have to be better. And that thought process that already worked in my subconscious is something that I'm very proud of. And it's a tool that I think has kept me improving and getting better. And this is what I want to implement to everybody. I want you to find the ways and tools that you need to do. And you'll see that there's 3 questions you can ask yourself. Why do I want to do anything? What will it give me? What will the good do? And the last one is, how do I go about doing that? And this is where I'd love to help you. I will also try and set up a Q&A for some of the members of my site, friedmanindustries.com. And then you'll be able to put up questions and we'll be able to address them here. So thank you very much for joining me today. I'd love to wish you all a great week, great day, great evening, just great life. This has been Benjamin. Most people call me Benji, by the way. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, this has been Coaching the Soul. Lots of love and goodbye.